Namaste. My name is Todd and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Welcome to Asana Spotlight, where we take one pose, one or two poses, and I give you a little more extra detail about the pose, and we learn some interesting facts about these poses. And I'm going to invite you to share this experience with others, people you know who really need yoga, people who know yoga but want to do a little more detail on it. And in this way, we spread the light and share the joy of the practice. Today's pose is a very interesting pose, a common pose, and I love the name. It's called Shishuasana. Just the name itself is adorable. Shishu is a puppy, and it also represents the young of any species. So Shishuasana, puppy dog pose. It's a pose on its own, but it's also sort of a prerequisite for the downward dog pose. But we're going to treat it as its own pose. But you certainly can go into downward dog pose with this one, and it's a good preparation. It's also an amazing shoulder integration teacher, and it's going to help us really look at how to have a much stronger shoulder assembly here, and then we can take that into downward dog pose, and you'll see a remarkable difference. So there is an art to enjoying life, and many times we completely miss it. But the art to enjoyment requires a couple of things. One is that you need to release expectations. Expectations are the killers of joy, because basically if you have an expectation and you don't meet it, then it's hard to be joyous at that moment. But also, you need to look for the good. This is the second thing. Always look for what is good about the situation rather than what's awful about the situation. And that ties us back to the tantric teaching on that everything in life is for our awakening. How to have a view such that whatever happens in life is actually for our good, if you can see it that way. Even things that hurt or things that are awful, once you step back from it and you see, wow, why did that happen? How did that happen? And what can I learn from that? There is something to gain from every experience in life. And then the third thing is relax, because enjoyment is natural. When you're free of stress, when you're free of the burden of whatever it is that you're trying to change in life or trying to do that's been difficult, and we all have obstacles, that when you relax, the body returns to this natural state. And our natural state is one of joy, one of health and healing. So a big part of the yoga practice is to learn how to return to our natural state and actually live from that place. A lot of it has to do with connecting back to the universal source of energy, where you offer your individual self to this bigger universal energy. So you feel like you don't have to do it all on your own. And we start to feel like, hey, life has our back. The universe wants your success. And all that contributes to trying less, stressing less, and increasing our joy. So like I said, enjoyment really is an art. And one of the things that will bring instant joy to most people is when you see a puppy. So these puppy dogs, instantly, like, you just want to cuddle the thing. And they're just so cute. It softens your whole demeanor. Your heart opens. And I mean, that's why dogs are like great rescue dogs and great for, healing. You have these therapy dogs, because when you see a dog, they're just so innocent. Dogs are mostly always happy. They tend to always be hungry too. So, but when they're little puppies, they're just so adorable. And it also releases the hormone called oxytocin, which is absolutely needed for health and for relaxation. It just helps you feel the love from this little being. So, and Shishuasana, this is the Shishu. So we're going to practice Shishuasana and hopefully trigger some oxytocin so we can be a little happier in our lives today. All right. Well, let's do a couple of preparatory exercises first. So join me in a standing position, and you're going to need to go to a wall. So find that in your space, and I'll see you there in just a second. All right, so come to your wall. Stretch your arms all the way up on the wall. Step back about 1 or 2 feet. Feet are hip distance apart and parallel. It's called the shower pose. So just imagine you had a little too much last night and you're in the shower trying to shake it off. Here we go. So claw, finger pads, and roots of the fingers. Isometrically pull down. There's a longing for enjoyment, so pull with longing. And as you do that, push your hands into the wall and move your armpits away from the wall. And then melt the heart toward the wall. We gotta learn how to let go to access our natural joy. Bend your knees a bit, take your thigh bones back so you stick your butt back, get the curve in your back, tailbone in slightly, and breathe. With that longing for joy, just pull your palms isometrically down the wall and hollow your armpits, melt the heart toward the wall more, and breathe. Okay, make this feel good. If it hurts at all, it should hurt really good. But also you can back off a bit if it's too much stretch. Couple more breaths. And if you've ever had a dog, you can visualize your dog as a puppy, or certainly you've seen it online, or pictures of dogs that are just so loving. I'm not saying I want to take care of a dog. I don't have pets. I can hardly keep my plants alive in my house. But I love looking at them. I love cuddling them. And exhale. Release, shake your arms out. The next one is called Karate Chop at the Wall. It's really nice shoulder therapeutics. It's going to open up the chest, open up the front of the shoulder. So stand a little closer to the wall. Stretch your right arm out and do a karate chop here. Let's get it so you can kind of see me a little bit more. Okay, so palm is up, little finger edge at the wall. Hold your right ribs with your left hand, and you're pretty close to the wall. And then lift your side ribs, take the head of your arm bone back, and push the edge of your hand into the wall. So when the periphery goes forward, the other end, the core, goes back. So karate chop, head of the arm bone back. Externally rotate the upper arm. Keep your elbow just slightly bent. And then start to turn away from the wall. Turn to the left. And continue until you get a really nice stretch. Lift your rib cage. Assist the twist to the left. And breathe. Take your palate back. Occiput up. Draw from your hand into the back of the shoulder blade and try to engage and hug the muscles all around the shoulder. And exhale. Release. That creates so much space. Okay, second side, left hand, palm up. Hold your left ribs with your right arm. Karate chop the hand, head of the arm bone back. Lift and begin to twist. Karate chop the wall and pull from your hand up into the back of the shoulder. And then see if you can hug the back of the shoulder blade deeper into the back ribs. Engage with joy. We all want to learn how to be more joyous in life, and how to enjoy our experience more. So it's such a relief to know that that is our true nature. So if you can just relax and hug into yourself. When you value yourself, joy starts to come more frequently. A little more stretch. Now you can lean your shoulder toward the wall to increase it. You don't want to go into pain, but you do want to have a good stretch. And exhale. Release, shake out your arm. Okay, come on back to your mat. Get you centered again. Come down onto all fours. It's looking more and more like a dog already. Okay, look at your tail. Wrist creases straight ahead. And the center of the wrist should be as wide as your outer shoulder. Claw, pads and roots. And you push the pads of your hands down. You claw. It's not so much you root the hands, but you pull from the finger pads into the center of the palm. And then you press the roots of your fingers down where the fingers connect with the hand. When you do that, the arches of your palms will lift. And then you pull up from your hands into your heart. Then melt the upper back, soften. Remember, we need to relax to enjoy. All right, engage your shoulder blades. Very good. All right, now walk your knees back about 3 or 4 inches, and then toes are curled under, and you stretch back this way. Awesome. Keep your arm bones lifted, but keep the heart melted. So there's a longing for joy. That's your armpits up. You can imagine a puppy walks underneath your armpits, and its tail tickles your armpits up. But then you need to relax. So melt the heart more. Look for the good. Release expectations. Awesome. Therapeutically now, what's going on with the arms? Well, bend your elbows. And I'm going to talk about how to lift the 3 points of the arms. So this is going to bring in the idea of the arm rotation. So the lower arm always turns in. The upper arm always turns out. And you do those 2 actions together to find the place in the middle. And the middle is the direction that the elbow creases face. I won't go into it because it's a little complicated. There's 5 different planes. But when your arms are overhead, which is like puppy dog and downward dog pose, the elbow creases are like 2 lovers that gaze into each other's eyes. So the eye of the elbow faces each other this way. So you can just bring your arms out like this. Turn your lower arm in and your upper arm out to such a degree that the elbow creases face each other. And that's going to tell you how much more you need to turn the lower arm in to get that to happen. Okay, well actually it's when the arms are up this way. So, but this helps you see it. Okay, place your hands. Walk your knees back, good 3 inches. Bend your knees, sit back towards your heels. Now bend your elbows and pull your palms toward each other. You'll instantly feel the shoulder blades hug. And then lift the outer elbows up. Locate the outer elbow. Lift it up. At the same time, lift your inner armpit up. Where the heck is the inner armpit? All right, here is the inner armpit. You stretch your arm up like this. That's it. There's a little bit of the shoulder muscle. There's a deltoid muscle here. The inner deltoid, you could call it. So bend your elbows, outer elbows up, inner armpits up, and outer shoulder blades up. Where is that? Well, it's the lateral angle of the scapula here. You lift those up toward the sky as well. Everything is just like a party balloon going up. So bend the elbows, lift the outer elbow up, inner armpit up. That gives you an external rotation. The outer elbow up turns your lower arm in. The inner armpit turns the upper arm out. Melt the heart. And then lift the outer shoulder blade up. And that pulls the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Now, maintain all that and soften the heart. Good. Now start to squeeze your elbows toward each other. Check to see that your elbow creases are in love with each other. They recognize their kind. And then make the elbow straight. Good. It's a little harder with the arms straight, but lift your armpits up, inner armpit. We want to lift inner and outer armpit evenly, but these 3 points really take care of everything. Outer elbow, inner armpit, outer shoulder blade up. And then frame your ears between your arms so you look down, not so much like at your belly or into your heart. You just look down at the mat and hold and breathe.
Draw in with the longing for more enjoyment. Keep your fingers super steady. And just reflect on when you've been cuddled by a little puppy or licked. And then wiggle your tail. Shishuasana right here. Exhale. Release. Walk in. You can sit back on your heels.
Or sit comfortably however you can. Bring your hands, just palms down on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Take your shoulders back. Lift your heart up. You are worthy of happiness and joy. We want to come to a place where we really have enjoyment every day in our lives, even in this horrible and darkened time when awful things happen. But you know what? There's also really, really good things happening. Look for the good. And the more you look for it, the more you're going to see it. Head of the arm bones back. Regardless of what's happening on the outside, happiness is an inside job. So draw into your heart now. What does your heart most deeply desire? And offer a vision of goodness, a vision of beauty, a vision of peace. And then reflect on the adorable nature of a puppy. There's got to be something good about this life, that these little beings exist. And every time you do Shishuasana in your practice, you have a chance to release oxytocin, the feel-good hormone. It helps to create a feeling of connection to the self, to the spirit, where head, heart, and body are aligned. And then bring your palms together in front of the heart. May all beings enjoy and have the experience of their true nature, which is joy. Let's take a deep breath in and celebrate this joy with an Om. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy Shishuasana. Bye for now.